It's showtime. We are now live. Welcome to another edition of the Willie Bragg Show. I'm your host, Willie Bragg. Just want to let you know to hit that like button because, of course, it helps with algorithms, and to subscribe to the channel here on YouTube and follow me on Twitch. And, of course, you can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. And that's what I have to say about that, to get that out of the way. And to talk about there's a lot of things to talk about, but something that we haven't talked about in a while, where I'm not exactly defending Bernie Sanders, but I am defending Bernie Sanders from right-wing detractors like I used to do, which makes me sound like I'm defending Bernie Sanders the way I used to. So it's just kind of weird. It's bringing me back to those days when I did that sort of thing. But that's what's happened. Why? Because he wrote a book. And apparently, if a self-avowed socialist, do something to try to do something in an existing capitalist system, they apparently are violating their principles, according to retarded people on the far right. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go ahead and play you a segment from Fox News, where such partisan vomit runs amok, and it's ridiculous. It really is. So let me do that. Let me get the speed ready, and so we can get the show on the road, and you'll see what I mean momentarily. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this underway. All right.
Apparently, Bernie Sanders was asked about a Ticketmaster prize that he's charging for his book release and his appearance. He was with Margaret Brennan on CBS on Sunday. This is kind of how it went, Jeff. Okay. Watch it.
Tickets for your tour apparently are selling for $95 on Ticketmaster, which is accused of anti-competitive behavior. Yet some of your Democrats are criticizing them. Aren't you benefiting yourself from this system that you're trying to dismantle?
First of all, those decisions are made totally by the publisher and the bookseller, but I don't make a nickel out of these things.
But you're okay doing business with Ticketmaster?
No, not particularly, but that's, again, I have nothing to do with it.
Okay. Well, what's true and what?
Okay, that's kind of like equivalent to when they went and criticized Bernie Sanders. How dare you own a home? How dare you own a home in Vermont? And how dare you own a home in Washington D.C.? How dare you do this? Well, here's how it's done. He gets a salary for being, when he was a member of U.S. House and currently as a U.S. Senator. He gets a salary. I suppose, to the right wing, since they don't know what socialism is, that he has to go and live in live in a sewer somewhere and live as a pauper because he's socialist and he's going to give his money away. You don't know what socialism is, or create such a ridiculous straw man. So, and don't buy clothes from the store. Just take a sack and punch some holes in the sack so arms and legs can go through, that sort of thing. Oh, don't go buy food from the restaurant. Just eat from a garbage can because everything is, what the hell these people are thinking. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I deal with this kind of stupid mentality all the time. And there are things to get mad at Bernie Sanders about, but what these people are getting mad about on Bernie Sanders, well, it's nothing anyway.
What's not and all that.
Well, this is a total scam. Let me just jump in. Okay. When Bernie Sanders says, well, I don't make a nickel off of this, he signed a book deal. Okay. And he can pawn this off as well. If you sign with a big publisher, they go out and sell books at these events. He's being paid based on how many books he sells, number one. Okay. Number two, to have the gall to charge people $95 for a lecture about the evils of capitalism. It's called It's Okay to Be Angry at Capitalism. If you pay $95 to get into a lecture about being angry at capitalism, the only thing you should be angry about is yourself. You're a dumb person. Bernie Sanders.
Because if somebody goes and spends $95 because they want to hear a lecture about being angry at capitalism, that is on that person to do it. That's their person's right to do it. It's unlike healthcare, for example, where you are forced to get healthcare. You're forced to buy into private health insurance that gouges off of consumers. You are forced to. If you're driving an automobile, you have to go and fill up your empty gas tank. You are forced. You are forced by these oil companies to buy fucking expensive gas to put in your automobile to get from point A to point B. So it's amazing the kind of crap that these morons get mad about with Bernie Sanders or make fun of. But oh no, the health insurance companies and big pharma, they can go and rape the American people as much as they can, and that's good old capitalism. Yeehaw! And or oil companies, they can just gouge us consumers, and again, good old fashioned American capitalism. Even the Nord Stream pipeline, we know about the Nord Stream pipeline. We know how it got blown up. We know why it was blown up. And guess what? Who's going to be the beneficiary out of this? The American oil companies. Who's not going to be? Not even the American people at the gas pump. And even if they were, it would still not be right for. I'm not going to go and divulge in too much detail, but I think we know the story about the Nord Stream pipeline. But the point is, these morons, they want to create a straw man and create something about socialism that's absolutely just not true. And so apparently you got to live like a pauper. You got to live totally in poverty, do a vow of poverty, and deprive yourself of anything in life in order to be to live true to your values. Fuck these people, really. Fuck these people.
Sanders is a scam, and where I respect the hustle is he's getting.
Sanders is a scam. Well, I got a lot to say about that, but let's go ahead.
Over on gullible people. There's an easy follow-up there. Doing a big book publisher.
You want to know what gullible people are? Gullible people are people in after 9/11 that watched Fox News and believed that there were weapons of mass destruction because Bill O'Reilly said there was weapons of mass destruction, or Sean Hannity said there were weapons of mass destruction, or on talk radio, Rush Limbaugh said there were weapons of mass destruction, or evangelicals listening to their pastors and John Hagee and Pat Robertson telling people that there were weapons of mass destruction, or Ben Shapiro over the years telling people that there were weapons of mass destruction. Those are the people who are morons. The people who listen to Bernie Sanders, the only thing moronic about it is that they thought that AOC was going to go and save them, or Bernie Sanders was going to save them. And the problem with Bernie Sanders and AOC is they took their ideas and their policies into the Democratic Party, where it goes to die. Great parties die. Great policy dies in the Democratic Party. You should try to go and work within the Democratic Party. You have to do this shit outside of the two-party system. That's the way it was with civil rights. That's the way it was even with the labor struggles. That's the way it was. Anybody who says, well, you have to go and work within the system, work inside of the Democratic Party. Well, Chris Smalls earlier last year didn't have to work within the Democratic Party to try to get Amazon unionized in Staten Island. In fact, AOC was trying to take credit for that, but she was too busy wearing a Chick-fil-A dress. But I digress.
Publisher is such a bad thing. Why not do it with a small publisher?
Or why not self-publish, Bernie?
Thank you, because he wants the money.
Because then you would get nothing anyway. Jimmy Fallon.
You guys are the best.
Respect the hustle.
He went with a big publisher because he wants to go and spread out the message. There's a lot to fault Bernie Sanders for. Sheep herding a lot of progressives into the Democratic Party, back into the Democratic Party. Included myself, as I was in the Green Party at that time. To go and vote for Bernie Sanders, I wanted to make sure I was able to vote without any scams against me. So I re-registered as a Democrat, which felt really dirty in North Carolina, to go and vote in the primaries to vote for Bernie Sanders. That there'll be no grief, no crap, nothing to stop them from preventing me from doing so. And then, of course, as soon as I casted my vote for Bernie Sanders in the primaries, since I left the polls, I drove down to the local board of elections and re-registered as a Green. So my point is this. People got sheep herded back into the Democratic Party as a result. And now it's back down to the blue team versus the red team again. And I'm simply not having it. I'm simply not having it. And I don't know if that was Bernie Sanders' intention, but it is how it resulted. So let's keep going on with this nonsense over here.
Respect the hustle.
Great to see you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News.
Fuck Fox News. Seriously. Fuck it all. So anyway, I mean, this whole thing with the two-party scam and all of that. I mean, Bernie Sanders. I'm more angry Bernie than I've ever been in my life. It's not because I think he's an evil person, but it's just that he thought this could be done inside the Democratic Party, and it's just not possible. It's not possible to do this inside the two-party system, not at all. And another thing I'll have to say about that is that having to deal with all this over the last couple of years, I just don't feel like having to deal with the anger management of it all again. Not one bit. What else I'm trying to find here? No matter. My point is that the straw man that these people love to build is so damn goofy. It really is. And I just had it to hear with this. It's like they want to do everything they can to discredit. They can't go after Bernie and say, well, he's trying to turn America into North Korea, or trying to turn America into the killing fields under Khmer Rouge, under Pol Pot. That doesn't stick, because they know that that's not the kind of socialist he is. They can't say things like, oh, well, Bernie Sanders, they can't say these things anymore. So they have to go and do another thing to try to discredit him and try to make his politics sounds very cartoonish. The only problem with Bernie Sanders is in the year 2023 is that he lost his will. He fought the good fight and he gave up. I mean, it's insurmountable what the odds that we have to go through as anti-capitalists in this country. And he's moderated to the point where he's just a slightly edgier Democrat. And that's problematic right there. There are things to criticize Bernie Sanders for. This book deal thing, that's nothing to criticize Bernie Sanders over. In fact, it's absolutely all to do about nothing. So, all right, so let's see what we have here on the chat line here. Kevin Toohey, welcome back. Willie, when are you going to get kicked off of YouTube? we've all got the feeling now that you're not a real leftist until you get kicked off somewhere. Well, I haven't been kicked off at YouTube yet, although I've been suspended last year for 1 week. So it probably will happen. Right wing is standing for Ukraine war and NATO expansion, and that's what the Democrats are doing. True. And I got basically chastised by people who are nominally on the left, telling me that you know, how dare I go and protest against the war like I did with Rage Against the War Machine. But I do it again and again and again, and I don't care who. For the most part, I don't care who I have to partner with if it means saving American lives, saving Ukraine lives, saving Russian lives, saving everybody's lives on this planet, saving human civilization from nuclear war. And that's probably all from me. And that's probably all from me. Just had to respond to the title. I don't believe in Bernie Sanders. I would spit on him. I would not exactly spit on him, but I wouldn't go that far. But I just my critique of Bernie Sanders still stands. It's just that the right wing has a spin on Bernie Sanders that just gets on my nerves. Is a way to discredit he's kind of used as a poster child to try to discredit the whole movement still. In other words, kick a movement while it's down. And that's what these people are doing. That's what these people are doing. And they're still engaging in everything I dislike is socialism. And whether we want to say Bernie Sanders is a socialist or not, I don't want him to run for president in the year 2024. To tell you the truth, to be quite honest, I'm burned out. I'm burned out. I am burned out from Bernie. He wants to please his good friend Joe Biden, who I don't give a damn about. Anybody who defends any president is sus at this point, whether it's Joe Biden, Donald Trump, Barack Obama, George W. Bush, in particular, Bill Clinton, or anybody in the past 50, 60 years, any president that's being supported by anybody, they're sus if they know what's going on. So I don't support any elected politician anymore. Anybody who's elected to the office, I just don't believe in them anymore. We got to believe in ourselves, folks. We'll eat what you do. See, we'll eat what you do. Think about Rosa Luxemburg revolution, not reform. Well, I have respect for the late Rosa Luxemburg, and I hate what was done to her. You know, she was assassinated and everything, and hate what was done to her and all that. So I agree. I don't disagree about that. I'm actually significantly more anti-capitalist than I was previously. Let's see. You should put in writing in the comments. I might not be there. Okay. But anyway, suffice to say, it's the straw man that's getting on my nerves with regard to it's a slam on all of us. For all of us that do believe in socialism, it's a slam on it. It's kicking us while we're down. And we're back to the year 2014. We're back to the year 2015 before Bernie decided to run. We're back to the days of Tumblr. We're back to the Obama years. And that's where we're at. And I freaking hate it. I do. I freaking hate it. The straw man is being built against a movement that's actually done more to improve humanity in the 20th century, anything else. A movement that when you have a society that provided healthcare and provided labor rights and housing rights and health and education rights and all of that, and in America, something as basic as the New Deal. It wasn't the Democrats themselves that did it out of the goodness of their hearts. It was trade unionists. It was anarchists, it was socialists, it was communists. All of these folks got together, and they along with the civil rights movement later on, we fought for equality, and it was the socialists, it anarchists, it was the communists, it was all these movements that actually made voting for the Democrats at one point kind of palatable until until somebody named Bill Clinton came along with his Democratic Leadership Council and Reaganized the Democratic Party in the 1990s and turned it into something that would have made Ronald Reagan proud in the same way that Tony Blair did with the Labor Party in the 1990s with his third way nonsense. So, and that infuriates me, but also infuriates me when the right wing do their little straw man. So let's see, we have here Big Silver Orb. Hey, how are you doing today? I just did a quick video on the straw man against the right wing who are trying to criticize Bernie Sanders for writing a book about critiquing capitalism. And there's so much worse there's being done in this country than Bernie Sanders writing a book and maybe making a few bucks off of it. Making a few bucks off of people suffering under a healthcare system is far more criminal. Defense contractors, using our politicians to go and to make sure weapons are sold to countries and overseas to, harm people. That's more egregious than Bernie Sanders writing a book, making a few bucks off of it. So let's see. I've given up on our Bernie leftist utopia. We have to deal with dirtbag Dems for now. To complicate, I'm a dirtbag leftist, so I wouldn't call them a dirtbag. I call the Democrats just a piece of shit at this point. So there is that. So anyway, if you all like what you heard, please press like and comment. And if you disagree, we'll have a comment and we'll have a conversation anyway. Feel free to share the content on this channel. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it because we are, in fact, the muckrakers of our time. In addition, to always reject corporate media because they have absolutely nothing to offer to any of us, and to always get a second opinion, get 400, 500 opinions if you can. And until next time, there's one more comment I'll say, and then I'm gonna sign off. The utopia involves a world without weapons, but until then, our weapons, I like our weapons to be the best. Well, I would just like to see an alternative to the dystopia we have today. So I'm going to go sign off right now, and I may be back in a little bit later on today. So who knows? I may find something else to chat about, folks. Take care. Bye-bye.